Greetings, esteemed clients and subscribers, this is ISON Company with you. In this video, we will have the long-awaited review of the updated ISON NFL 1000 Pro surveillance camera. This is currently the best surveillance camera in the category of cameras with SIM cards. It features the best Sony original matrix. It has the best SSC AMX processor of the latest generation. It offers the highest resolution, 8 megapixels 4K. This camera is rotatable, it moves left, right, up, down. It has a 20x optical zoom plus a 10x digital zoom. It features a built-in microphone and a built-in speaker. The microphone is the latest generation ISON Mic 801 with noise cancelling function. This camera has built-in artificial intelligence. It can track a person, it can track a car, it can monitor them. It features a powerful night illumination up to 150 meters with the latest generation IR LED diodes. Overall, this camera is the best available, let's say on the market as of 2025. In the category of surveillance cameras with SIM cards, we will have a detailed video review where I will tell you about all the interesting features and capabilities of this camera, as well as show you how easily it connects and how to install the app on your phone to control the camera remotely. Let me first explain what surveillance cameras with SIM cards are. These are essentially autonomous cameras that do not need a video recorder, do not need your router, and do not need your internet. All they require is to insert a SIM card into the rear slot, insert an SD card, and connect the camera to power. And that's all that's needed for it to work. These are ideal cameras for locations without heating, meaning if your site lacks heating, you would need to either arrange it or install a classic system, surveillance with a video recorder, because all recorders operate at temperatures from zero, just like all routers that provide internet. Or you can install this type of surveillance camera. These cameras are popular on construction sites, business premises, and private homes. They have a very wide range of applications. So, if you need surveillance with good zoom and automatic functions, also, if you don't want to buy a router separately, set up the internet separately, or connect the internet to the camera separately, you don't want to buy a video recorder, this camera can work without these elements. Let's first discuss the modifications of this camera. It comes in 8 and 5 megapixel versions, which differ in quality resolution by about 1.5 times. That is, the 8 megapixel cameras have an image that is 1.5 times clearer. Both the 8 and 5 megapixel models have a standard modification and a cheaper version with the Index E. These are more affordable processors, meaning such cameras are 20 to 30% simpler in terms of clarity and detail. However, they also come at a lower price. In this video review, we have the 8 megapixel top model with a standard processor without the E index. All these modifications differ only in video quality. All functions and options are absolutely the same, as is the appearance. So, the main distinctive features of this camera are, of course, the vast number of different functions and the best video quality available at the current time. 8 megapixels 4K with a Sony sensor. The sensor is what is inside the camera. It is what 90% of the quality and functionality of the shooting depends on, and this is not a copy, not a replica, not a fake from AliExpress. Unfortunately, there are many Sony replicas now. The Sony company itself has repeatedly stated that they do not have any licensed copies or replicas, only original Sony, and this is exactly the kind of sensor installed here. And the latest processor. The processor is what processes the incoming signal, the very latest processor, with the AMX 415. The most modern processor is installed here, which will allow your camera to achieve the highest possible quality and the most reliable performance. The camera rotates left, right, up and down, meaning it can be controlled remotely from a phone. There are also automatic functions here. The camera can track a person if they enter the frame or a vehicle. It can also be set up for patrol tours. That is, you can set points on the screen and the camera will move along these points, thus scanning your area. The camera also has a built-in intelligent motion sensor which can be adjusted for sensitivity. And the camera can not only record to its SD card based on motion detection, but it can also send you notifications to your email when the motion sensor is triggered. Overall, the motion sensor option is essential and necessary. This will allow you not only to save space on the SD card, but also to have a more convenient viewing option. That is, imagine a situation where you wake up and realize that, on the contrary, something was stolen from your property, for example, a shovel. And if you have a camera without a motion sensor, or it is not set to record based on motion detection, imagine having to review many previous days to see where, when, and what happened on your property. But if it records based on motion, you immediately open the playback and see that, for example, last night at 2:15 a.m. there was some movement. You immediately click on that section to view it and see who exactly stole your property. It's very convenient, so I recommend that. As soon as you get this camera, you set it to record based on the motion sensor, because there's no point in recording emptiness. There is also an intelligent built-in function, artificial intelligence, which allows the camera to distinguish between regular movement and separately detect a person and a vehicle. Why is this necessary? A regular motion sensor detects any movement. Rain, snow, some trees in the frame, dogs running around. Here, accordingly, is a more advanced model. This camera can specifically identify people and vehicles, which will also make viewing and usage easier for you. With this surveillance camera, this camera has a very powerful 20x optical zoom and 10x digital zoom. How do they differ? Optical zoom is the zoom where the magnification of objects occurs due to the movement of the lens, which is built inside here. And digital zoom is the enlargement of the captured image, like when you take a photo on your phone and spread your fingers to see it better. So let's say full screen, the same option is built into this camera. This is a very powerful zoom. It will allow you to see both people's faces and cars from a very long distance. There is a very powerful night illumination up to 160 meters, which is based on high quality infrared diodes of the latest generation, not on the old R5 diodes, which have the problem of constant burnout. In general, the warranty on AISO equipment is 3 years. The NFL 1000 Pro camera also has an autofocus option, meaning it can not only zoom in, but also focus on the object you are zooming in on. It also has 3 Wi-Fi antennas. It can not only receive an internet signal through its SIM card, but also distribute Wi-Fi to nearby objects. This is very convenient when, for example, you place the camera on your property and your location will have Wi-Fi from this SIM card. In this way, you can use the SIM card and the plan you purchase more efficiently. People often ask how to insert a SIM card, which plan to choose. You can use absolutely any SIM card. Just make sure there is internet reception, at least 3 megabits. People also often ask which plan to choose. I always recommend starting with the cheapest plan. It's never too late to switch to a more expensive one. You will only use data when you directly access the camera, view recordings, or control it. Therefore, you probably don't know yourself how often you will do this. So choose the cheapest plan, and if you find it's not enough, you can always switch. People also often ask what kind of SD card can be used here. This surveillance camera supports up to 256 gigabytes. Another common question is about the Wi-Fi transmission range from these antennas, which is stated to be up to 50 meters. This is under conditions without obstacles. If there are obstacles at your location, such as power lines, poles, electrical devices, walls, or other Wi-Fi networks, the range can be significantly reduced. Keep in mind that Wi-Fi becomes unpredictable if there are any obstacles. That means you need to place the camera directly on site and test the range there. This camera also has a wonderful option. It can be used entirely without SIM cards. Suppose you have a situation where no network is available at your location service provider and you have no opportunity to use it via the internet, then you can set up this surveillance camera and configure it as needed. And for example, you wake up the next day and realize that something has been stolen from you. And to view the recording from this camera, you simply need to approach it and catch the Wi-Fi signal. And if, for example, you have a small house, you might be able to catch the Wi-Fi signal from home. Again, you need to understand what walls, obstacles, and other electrical networks are present, and you can connect to it without the internet this way. That is, unlike a regular surveillance camera that records onto SD cards, with a regular camera, you would be removing it. And imagine how inconvenient it is when you have a camera hanging on a pole, for example. You would have to take it down, disassemble it, remove the SD card, insert the SD card into a computer, and only then would you have access to the archive. But here, there is a specially convenient feature. You just need to catch its own Wi-Fi signal, and you can then view all the recordings from your SD card. This is very convenient. As I already mentioned, the camera supports an 8 megapixel mode, meaning the maximum quality here is 4K. In this mode, the camera will record at 15 frames per second. If your priority is a higher frame rate, you can switch it to 5. The megapixel mode will be 30 frames per second, and in the 2 megapixel mode it will be 35 frames per second. If you are looking at, accordingly, cheaper 5 megapixel options, they simply lack the 8 megapixel mode, and the camera in 5 megapixel mode immediately records at 30 frames per second. The camera also supports H.265 codecs. That is the most modern codec, which allows you to save space on the hard drive. It compresses the video correctly, without any artifacts, without any distortions in the recording. The surveillance camera comes with a complete set of all necessary accessories. It includes its own bracket, antennas, a power supply unit, and an instruction manual. These surveillance cameras can operate not only with SIM cards but also with Wi-Fi, which is a common question. And how do you determine the range? How do you determine if your internal Wi-Fi router will be sufficient? Unfortunately, it's impossible to answer such a question because the Wi-Fi transmission range depends on the device that is distributing the Wi-Fi. They receive, meaning this parameter depends on your router, not on the surveillance camera. Therefore, you can always understand this. When you are installing the camera on the site, whether your Wi-Fi reaches or not, and accordingly, you either need to purchase a more powerful router or perhaps move it closer to the camera, or there is a simpler option, like CCTV, which is to insert a SIM card, allowing the camera to operate from its own SIM card. Now I will show you how to install and set up the ISON NFL 1000 PRO camera. First, you need to unscrew the back cover and insert the SD card and SIM card until they click into place. Then download the CamHi app. Open the app, select Add Camera, choose Scan QR Code, and scan the QR code located on the camera. And the camera is added. You can click on the camera to see the image. And I'll wave to you directly into the camera. Before we proceed with a detailed review of all the features, let's of course enter the camera itself and check the recording quality. Here in the bottom right corner, let's set it to HD, which is the maximum quality. To zoom in, click on the plus and press zoom. We can see the amazing quality of the video recording, yes, if we want to zoom out. We also press the plus sign for zooming out. To rotate the camera, simply swipe your finger right or left, also up or down. We will also show how to use the camera without a SIM card. All you need to do is go to the Wi-Fi section on your smartphone and find the camera's Wi-Fi network, which in my case is MiFi 29 and 5. Click on this network, enter the password. The default password is from 1 to 0. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and now you are connected to the camera. And in this way, you can control the camera itself without a SIM card, as well as download data from the SD card. Also, if you have a priority set for higher FPS, meaning you need more frames per second, click on the gear icon and select Video Settings. And here you need to lower the bitrate. Here, press the screen once to display the menu. This is to enable or disable sound from the camera. Here, the second button is to take a snapshot. The third button is to start recording video online. That is, right now the camera will record something for us. Here is the switch between HD and SD signal. In the bottom right corner, you can also click here to see different display options. Let's exit this menu and look at the main menu. Click on the gear icon. The first item is to change the password. Alarm settings. Here you can configure the motion sensor, set the sensor's trigger area, adjust sensitivity and enable or disable the sensor itself. Alarm action. Here you can configure what exactly will happen. When the camera detects movement, you can set the alarm period, and you can also choose for the motion sensor to work only on certain days of the week. In the sound settings, you can adjust the microphone volume, POSAM, and configure the video settings. Here we see the actual resolution of our model, SD card settings. Here you will see your SD card, and you can also format it. Email settings. Here you provide the information for the camera to send you an email notification in case the motion sensor is triggered. And most importantly, where to view the video recording that was made on our SD card. Here at the bottom there is a snapshot section. In the video section, also at the bottom, click on the camera itself, and here you will see a list of videos. Here you can select by calendar, choose continuous recording or only by motion. And in this way you view exactly what interests you.